Hey guys, welcome back to Walking with the Walkers, and today I'm going to be sharing my journey, how I started to the day I submitted my letter of resignation. Stick around, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Guys, so I'm going to be sharing the journey from 2023 to 2024. It sounds short, actually it is short, it's 21 months, but I'm going to be sharing you what happened during this period. So when I got to the school, of course, I was referred by a wonderful person. I did an interview and the interview was successful. I really liked the principal at the time and the head of school. They seemed very understanding, very supportive, and things were into place. Whenever we had behavioral issues, you could always count on the principal and the head of school to tackle it on right away. But within a month, I got extended. I got a contract that they offered me, a 2 years contract with the school of general studies teacher, and I took that opportunity because I came there March and June was going to be the end of the academic year, and not knowing what I would do in the summer. So to work in that short period and then to get a letter asking me to be with them permanent for 2 years, that was really good. So I took the opportunity. Now, as we close the academic year, I realized that the principal submitted a letter of resignation and she announced that she is not coming back. The head of school announced that he is not coming back. So we have two people now who I came in under this leadership and they are now leaving, which leads us to 2023 of August to now 2024 June, July. So what happened is that we have a new head of school and we were seeking a principal. We got the principal January of this year. Now, all of last year, August to January, it was very chaotic. What you find is that we had little support. There wasn't anything structured, any management skills, no behavior support system. It was chaotic on the teachers. Other teachers were burdened by these issues, and what you find is that we had to be fending for ourselves. It felt as if it was like we're out in a sea without a life vest. So the starting of this academic year, we got a new principal, but we'll come back to that point. Now, let me go back. So I remember when the first encounter with this principal, I did a assessment and she assessed my class and gave me a wonderful grade. And she assessed other teachers and gave them a bad grade. The comments that she made to other teachers were deemed rude as well. Within the first week, she had disrespected other people. Teachers were upset at her based on her professionalism and all of these things. Not going to speak too much on their side, but on my side. What you find is that my first assessment with this principal, the grade was good. I was satisfied with the grade. The explanations were good, so I was satisfied. And then the last assessment before we go off on the break, I realized that she gave me a lower grade, and the other teachers that she was grading before, she gave them a higher grade. And you found that this specific teacher was bragging that, oh, she's going away and she got full marks because this person is her friend. And I got a lower grade and I didn't change nothing from what I was doing. All I did was to improve on what I was doing. All right. Now, this person that was leaving, this was a teacher there as well. Everything was okay. And what you find is that the new principal came in. So it's like you push the older teachers beside and start to friend with these new people. And I realized that they started to report me that I am not doing my duties, I'm not doing recess, I am coming late to recess. They make a lot of reports. She make a lot of reports to say that she's basically the only one doing this, and it felt as if they were throwing me underneath the bus, and I kept quiet. She has never said it to me directly. All I know was one time I was in a meeting and she said, "Oh, thank you, Mr. Walker, who makes his class go over 12 o'clock. Because 12 o'clock is recess. And sometimes my class ends at 12:05 because I want to complete my lesson." But she had a problem with that. They made it seem as if it wasn't a big deal, but based on how the nature of the conversation, it felt as if this was discussed before and they brought it in the meeting. Because again, these people are friends. Now, this lady is leaving and it felt as if she is trying to get somebody in trouble while she's leaving. So she would always go and make reports about me, but I've never confronted her. I've never said anything. All I did was to just hear what she's saying, and I've never expressed myself to her regarding to, like, I know what you're saying. I just kept it moving. So the new year now, which is 2024 August, I got my schedule and I realized by this time about 5 teachers have left already because of this principal who came January. 3 of which that were here for over 5 years. And they left on the basis of this person who came along and they felt disrespected by this person. A mom and a daughter left and they emailed the school regarding to the same issues that this principal that came in. They will not work with her. Now this academic year, August, I realized that everything was chaotic because when I got my schedule for the academic year, I realized that I had no lunch break on my schedule. And I've said this countless times. I cannot operate in a system where I have no lunch break. And indeed, this is unlawful and this is unhealthy. The teacher will burn out in a few months. What you find is that it's like it was planned. Nobody is going to help you. I was told that I don't need to use the curriculum from last year. They're getting new curriculum. I got nothing, only English language, and I'm teaching English language and social studies. I submitted orders, I submitted things for physical education, I got nothing. For social studies, I've made a complaint to her like several times. I said, I don't have this, I don't have that. You know, we are expected to do these lesson plans, but I don't have these resources. I have to be going and searching. I have to be searching every single day to find things to teach the kids based on the old books that I have, which I was told we don't need them anymore because they're doing these online platforms, and it wasn't working. So that said and done, they're always talking about lesson plans, but I can't complete my lesson plans when I have no resources to use from a book. So every day when I go to school, I have to be finding time to find something, okay, pull it, and then type it in my lesson plan to say I'm going to be teaching that today. What you find is that majority of the times, even though we have 2 administrators now, majority of the time they are unavailable. Their doors are closed. You go to them, the results are the same. They send them back to our class. They make it seem as if we have to do all of these stuff by ourselves. They change the whole expectations where they no longer call parents. They want us to call parents. When you call the parents are asking us directly, why are you calling me? What happened to the principal and the head of school? Why are they not calling? And you can't answer that question because this is how they put it. What you find is that the principal basically got rid of 6 people by this time. This is now in like August, September, October, November. She got rid of 6 people by this time. And she brought in her friend, one of her friend in August. She brought in her friend, her best friend. And her friend came into school and her friend have perks over teachers who don't have perk, or a teacher who is there longer than her. I'm there from 2023 and I have the worst schedule, and this friend comes in and this friend is able to have free sessions. This friend is able to leave school one day 2 p.m. All of these perks that you find. She could send her kids outside the classroom and nobody says anything to her. And I've been constantly being told that I am leaving my students unattended. And they can never show me proof that I left my students unattended. Never. When I ask about it, they can never show that I have done this before. And this is evident that this teacher constantly doing it without any consequences repeatedly. So I had an issue with a student. She was running around the classroom, not listening, jumping around, this and that. And I did what they asked. I contacted the parents. Parents were making it seem as if I was the issue. And I spoke to the principal, I spoke to the head of school, I emailed them, I emailed the parents, and they organized a parent-teacher meeting. And what happened is that the principal and the head of school, they excluded me from the meeting. After they did that, they came to me and they were saying to me that the principal was saying to me, this is a female, that I sent you an email, this is what the parent want, this is what I wanted to do. And I hit back at them and I said, how is it that I am excluded from a meeting, yet still you're asking me for my input, you're asking me to do this, and I've never seen you guys do that, right? And they're saying to me that they had concern about personality, like managing personalities. The principal did that because her goal is to get rid of all those teachers who were there before her so she can bring her friends in. Her friends come into school. You're not supposed to speak about politics. Her friends come into school pushing politics on the kids, pushing her political views on the kids. The kids, I'm not going to speak about which political leader that she was promoting, but one question, let me not even say the question because it's very, very inappropriate. All right. Another instance, I realized that this principal is very unprofessional, biased, everything possible. And I could not work with her because it's like she is setting you up. It's so unprofessional that it felt as if it's like a man and a woman relationship, like malice. And we're not in a relationship. We are professional. We should be professionals. And she's acting like that, not just with myself, but with other teachers. Mental issues, like that's what we get from it. An incident happened recently where I was ambushed by 2 male students. And that's the main reason why I resigned from the job. Citing the unprofessionalism, citing the disrespect, citing the lack of support, citing the unfairness, I quit. I walked away from them. I submitted my letter of resignation because I will not work with somebody who is trying to tear you down, and I'm not the only one. She, including myself, ran away. 7 teachers. 7 teachers quit because of this lady. 2 weeks ago, I was on the playground and I was playing with a student in my class and I ran away with the ball. Now, the group of boys were forming a team and I was playing with a little boy who was in 2nd grade. The middle school boys ran after me, and as soon as I saw them coming, I opened the door and they ambushed me. You know what I did? I held my hands up like this. One on the left, one on the left, one on the right. The principal and the head of school stood there and did nothing. Watched the boys ambushing me until I had to step back. I got them off me by telling them, do not touch me. Right? And I put down the ball, I threw down the ball on the ground and I walked off. That's when the head of school is saying to me, what happened? I did not answer because he was standing there. I walked off into my classroom. I went into the office and I gave him a paper and I said, I am going home. I will not be disrespected. I am going home because you saw what was happening. You didn't come to my defense. They dealt with the situation. When I came the next day, this is what the principal is saying to me. they're dealing with the boys, but next time, she's basically saying, next time, I don't want you to leave the school. Don't leave. You can take like a 5. And I said to her, I had to leave. I had to leave. I felt disrespected. And matter of fact, let me tell you in your face, you and the head of school was standing there and you did nothing. You did nothing. You watched what was happening. You did nothing. Now, fast forward 2 weeks later, which was recently, before we went on Thanksgiving break, the same boys, I was in recess, this is about 12 o'clock, the same boys, I had a tennis ball. I was teaching my kids how to play cricket. I had a tennis ball, and the tennis ball was a hard tennis ball. And I was saying that we're not going to use this ball because it is dangerous. And the boys, one of the boys, I caught him in the act of trying to hit me with the tennis ball using the racket that you play lawn tennis with. And I stopped him. He made an attempt, and I said to him, it is dangerous and it can hurt somebody and he can break the windows. That's why we're not using it. He made an attempt to hit the ball in the window to see if it's going to crack, and I took away the ball from him. I walked them out, and what they did was one of them walked with me and screaming in my ears, left and right, left and right. And I was begging him to stop. At one point I said, bro, you need to stop. And he's like, I'm not your bro. I'm bigger than you. And I get up and I walked away. Now all of this, I'm very strategic. I do all of this in front of the camera. I walked away. As soon as I walked away, another student threw a feather ball at me. You can Google a feather ball if you don't know a feather ball. Threw a feather ball at me. And I asked them, by the way, when the guy was screaming in my ears, I asked them 6 times to stop. When they were throwing the feather ball at me, I asked them 7 times to stop. And 2 times it came off my head. I had to duck. It was coming off my head. I had to duck. And the first time was after me. The second time was after a teacher. The third time was after me again. And that's when I calmly walked to the office and went to the head of school and shared with him, the middle school boys are being disrespectful. I'm asking you kindly to come and sort this out. And I told him what was happening. He told me that since the boy come in, if he still have to talk to him. And I said, yes, you have to deal with the situation. You have to speak to him. Now, that incident happened. The boys got in trouble. The boys are saying that I took away their tennis ball. Actually, it's my tennis ball. The boys are saying that they were never screaming in my ears, and how much. One of the boys told his parents and told the head of school and the principal, everybody in the office, I hit him 2 weeks ago when they ambushed me. Now remember, they watched the videos. Nobody said anything to me. They watched the videos. They reprimanded the kids at that time because it was bad, because I left. They had to do something so they could show me that they were doing something. And because I was very adamant that you guys are not doing anything to sort this situation, what you find is that the boy said that I hit him and his parent was going to email the school and all of these things. And none of them said anything to me. You know why? Because when they saw they were standing there, 1, 2, when they saw the camera and the principal called me in the night, the head of school called me in the night and said he saw on the camera where the boys were doing this. Plus, the same day, he said that he saw one of the boys up in my ears. And I said, yes, that's the point where he was screaming in my ears. So that is proven to be true of what I said. Now, imagine you watch the video like 2 weeks ago when the boys ambushed me in the hallway. You watched the video and you saw what they did, and you saw what I did when I put my hands up in the air when they were ambushing me. And the boy came to you and told you that I hit him at that point of time. And you watched the camera and you did not see where I did any form of physical attack on any student. My hands were like this. Instead of you telling the boy that that's false accusation and you should not tell a lie on a teacher like that, your comment to the boy was, the next time he does that, I'm going to fire him. How can that be so? When you watch the camera and you did not say anything to me at all. Anything to me at all. So these are some things that I said to myself, it's very toxic. There's no way I can be in a place like this. There's no support. We have somebody who comes in the school. The goal is to get rid of everybody that was there before and bring in the new people, so she has full control over the new people. And I have no problem of sending in my resignation. So let me know if you could have endured 21 months of this, especially February. Well, it is 10 months. So 21 months overall and 10 months with this new principal doing all of this, sabotaging an individual or individuals, 7 in total.